How cool is my life? Here we are hanging with Willie. Almost. I'm Greg. We got Penny here with us.
Hey.
And we've got Mel here with us.
Hello.
You know,
Sitting here just having a really good day.
Woohoo!
So Almost, tell us about you. How long you been on the road? How long you been doing this?
Well, I got out of service in 1968. I come back home, I was looking for a job. So I didn't have any schooling or anything, but I was a medic in the Army, so I figured, hey, I could drive an ambulance. You know who's in the ambulance business back then? Funeral homes. So I go down to the funeral home, I got a job. Started work Monday. Monday afternoon, I'm dressing a body. And I thought, man, I didn't sign up for this stuff, you know. But you can't do one without the other. So I ended up getting my funeral director's license. And I was a funeral director till 1983. And then I quit the funeral business and I started selling cars. And it's the first time in my life I could grow a beard. Because funeral home directors can't have beards, long hair. So after a couple of years, by 85, I had this beard grown out. And me and my wife, my first wife then, we got the kids. I got 6 kids, you know.
Wow.
And we was going out dancing, country dancing. That was the early 80s when Urban Cowboy came out, you know, and two-stepping was there. We was good too. So we were going out to this country bar, and I come on one day and she said there's having a Halloween contest there Saturday night. Said, why don't you paint your beard white and I'll make you some braids, sew them on a bandana, and you go as Willie Nelson. I said, all right, I'll try that. I had to do everything she said anyway. So I get home at night and she got this red bandana laying on the bed with some fake braids in it and a bottle of Clown White. I put that Clown White all over my beard and put the braids on, and I went to contest. I won first place. And that started it all. And then after that, people, my friends mostly, was when they'd have a backyard party, they'd say, hey, Willie, call me up. Willie, would you get your Willie stuff on and come on over? We're having a party. Free food and free drinks. I said, well, all right. You know. So I'd I'd go to the party and I couldn't play or sing. So I'd just tell some stories or jokes or something, you know, whatever. And that went on for about 3 or 4 months. And I thought, man, I got to get me a guitar and learn a couple of Willie songs to do at these parties. So there was a veterinarian friend of mine in town, Doc Shane, and he knew how to play guitar. I said, Doc, would you come over Monday night? I'll buy you a 6-pack, teach me a couple of Willie songs. He said, yeah. So he come over every Monday night for 2 years, and I learned 3 Willie songs.
Did you play before?
Never played a guitar in my life. And my wife wouldn't let me sing in church. I was so bad, you know. So anyway, Ray started coming over on Monday nights. Cost me a lot of 6-packs, you know. And so I learned those 3 songs, and they were good for about 5 years, you know. I was just getting by. But then in 1991, I moved to Kansas City. I got a divorce thing. And I was throwing asphalt off the back of a truck, you know, 93 degrees outside in Kansas City. And asphalt's 240 degrees. Yeah. I knew I didn't want to do that the rest of my life. So I started learning some songs. I kicked in high gear, and in 2 years I learned 35 songs.
Wow. Nice.
And,
Wow.
Can you teach me how to play?
Did I what?
Can you teach, is Mel saying, can you teach me how to play guitar?
So
you don't want to learn from me.
You're playing 35 of Willie's songs now, give or take.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe a few more. I learned along the way.
That's really cool.
Probably not over 40 anyway.
So how many years you been coming to Quartzsite?
Oh, this is my 30th year.
Wow.
Yeah. And I got 4 good stops during the year.
Okay.
That makes my tour.
Your circuit, yeah.
The first one's in Nashville in June, and in July I do Branson, and in August I do Sturgis.
Nice.
And then after that, I put around Texas for about 2 months, and I just come from there 2 weeks ago, and I do. Ooh, did you see that?
Lukenbach, Texas.
I did Lukenbach, Bandera, Kerrville,
Nice.
Fredericksburg, all through there. That's nice country.
Do you have a gig here in Quartzsite?
Yes, I've got a gig here in Quartzsite every Wednesday night at Oasis Bookstore. Right down there on
Nice.
the main
Very
drag.
good.
And,
Very good.
Yeah, so it doesn't hold but 50 people, so.
And the first in your series is when? The first show is when?
The 18th.
The
That's
18th.
next Wednesday.
Okay, and how can somebody get tickets if they need tickets?
Well, if you can find me, I've got them in my pocket.
All right.
You can buy them at Oasis.
At the bookstore. Okay.
And the lady manager at the Q-View is selling them.
Okay.
Q-View RV park, right across from Solar Bob's.
Okay.
Solar Bills.
Solar Bills.
Sorry, Bob. Bill.
Well, folks, make sure you catch these tickets now. This is very limited. There's only 50 seats per show. So if you plan on catching this, you know what Quartzsite looks like when it starts filling up. You better get it while you can.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me if you guys sit inside or outside when you do it here in
Oh, we're
Quartzsite.
inside.
Okay,
Yeah.
Somebody asked me about
I'm
that.
too old to be outside when it's 50 degrees. My fingers are stiff enough already. But after I hit the road in '94, I think it's a year later. At first, I went down to Texas because I knew everybody liked Willie in Texas. So I go down to the stockyards in Fort Worth, and I'm at this bar. It's called White Elephant. And that's where they make all the scenes for Walker, Texas Ranger.
Oh.
Anytime you see Walker and they're in the bar, that's White Elephant. So I'm in there having a drink with the guys, and I look up on the wall. There's a big sign that says Willie Nelson Lookalike Contest Saturday night at 7 o'clock. And I thought, hey, that's the place for me. So I found out the reason it's happening because Willie's playing Billy Bob's Saturday night. That's the biggest honky tonk in the country.
Oh, wow.
So I come back Saturday night and I signed up for it. And there's about 10 of us Willies walking around the dance floor getting judged. It wasn't about 7:30. Willie's show wasn't until 9. He got free. He come down, got the contest. He come in second place.
Second place.
Did you come first?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't have told you the story.
So what advice do you have people that want to dress up like Willie and play guitar and tour the country?
Don't do it. I want to be the only Willie there is.
You're not the only one currently, but I'll brag on you. You are the #1 Willie Nelson impersonator in the
Well, I know
country.
the next 5,
Yeah.
and the number 2 is real good. But he's getting a little older. Well, he's the same age as me, but he's not as good shape. And I just talked to him last week when I come through New Mexico, and then I had breakfast with number 2 in Tucson about 4 or 5 days ago.
Nice.
Yeah, and he did movies and stuff, but he couldn't play or sing. He just looked like Willie, but he's good.
Well, I have a question.
What's that?
Well, here's the thing. When I met you, I was like so thrilled inside of my spirit to be meeting you, because you're a nice guy anyway. I mean, straight up, I've enjoyed having dinner with you and spending time with you. You're a really nice guy. But, the presence that you bring as a Willie Nelson, impersonator type situation, you do capture that,
It's
you
real.
know? And we love Willie. So
Well, I hope I can imitate some of his personality too.
yeah, I think so. And
He's a good guy.
Some of that.
yeah, real mellow
He's a
and
real good guy.
yeah.
Friendly.
And I wonder, like, I know how I felt when I saw you. Like, I could feel that presence there. You know what I mean? And it was
I feel
enjoyable.
good.
Yeah.
And
but
I
when-
pass it on.
Yeah. And when you
I
meet
do.
other people, like, what do you think about that? Do you find that people get real just kind of
Yeah, some of them
excited?
almost pee in their pants.
Yeah.
They get so excited.
Yeah. How does that make you feel?
Well,
That makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Makes me feel good. But the only time, I never tell anybody I'm Willie Nelson. There's one exception. to Down syndrome people or autism or
Yeah.
you know
Children with special needs.
when they get all excited and stuff and come up to me, I can't tell them I'm not, you know, because they really think I am.
Well, what was funny is you sat next to me. It's Mel talking, and you know, I thought, wow, it looks really cool. But I never even associated with who you do, and I didn't know until people started coming up and asking you for.
You didn't
for the
know I
autographs.
looked like Willie?
No, I didn't know. No. I didn't know that you.
You should have said that on tape.
But then they were going up and you know, getting things signed. They were like oozing all over you. The women were like oozing. I went, what did I miss here? How come I didn't know this?
Yeah.
You can't all be Willie fans.
No, it can't all be.
Well, if you're
I'm
over,
a Willie fan, but you know.
if you're over 40 years old, you ought to know who Willie Nelson is.
You better know who Willie Nelson is.
Definitely.
Hey, I didn't discover the country until I came to Quartzsite.
Really.
Yes.
Quartzsite's a unique place,
Isn't it?
and there's unique people here.
What's your
Very
favorite?
much so.
What's your favorite place here?
In Quartzsite, well, it used to be the Silver Buckle. You don't even know about that, do you? Well, that's where RV sales is now, in Mesa RV, you know. But it used to be a bar, and they had bands every night, and it was cool. And then after that, my second place was Silly Al's. And then the third place is Yacht Club. And that's good. So I've been coming here 30 years, and I bought 2 vehicles here. You know, when I hit the road, I told the boss I was quitting, you know. I was doing asphalt work. I said, Friday's gonna be my last day. You pay me off, and I'm gonna hit the road as Almost Willie. I know 35 songs now, and I'm ready. I said, and I've been going down to the city market in Kansas City every Saturday playing for tips in front of a barbecue place. I was making $500, $600 a day down there. I was putting it away in my drawer, and so when I quit the asphalt business, he paid me off and some stuff. I had a little money. I went down and bought a 71 Winnebago for $500. Then I went to the hardware store and I got 3 gallons of red, white, and blue paint and the rollers and stuff. And I painted that up like a Texas flag. And I put Almost Willie all the way around it, you know. And now I went through 9 Winnebagos and 2 Greyhound buses, a 36-foot Fleetwood, and now I got this C-Class.
And we're about to put you in a 40-foot diesel.
Yeah.
In a Willie bus for real.
Tried to sell. I need one really, but well, let's leave it there.
Yes.
The gas mileage on this is 11 miles a gallon, and on any kind of Greyhound, I never got over 5.
That one pulls 8.
It pulls 8. Ooh.
We'll talk about it
So,
later.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
so for the ladies that will be watching this, are
The
you
ladies.
connected?
There's ladies watching me.
Well, they will be.
Am I connected?
Yeah, she's
Is there a special girl in your
Yeah.
life?
Oh yeah, I got a girl, a nice girl. She's Indian too. She's from Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, and her name's Nellie.
Nellie.
Hello, Nellie.
Hi, Nellie.
Hello, Nellie.
Like whoa, Nellie.
Uh-huh.
And she's a youngin' too. I robbed the cradle. She's just 64, and she's gonna be flying out in January
Very
to
good.
Quartzsite. So you can't fly to Quartzsite, right? So I have to fly to Yuma.
Yuma.
Could you do something for us? Could you play a song to Nellie?
To Nellie, I'll sing our anniversary song, our
There
5th
you go.
anniversary. Yeah,
Happy
Happy
anniversary.
anniversary, Nellie.
Really?
we've been together 5 months now.
That works.
At a time when the world seems to be spinning hopelessly out of control, there's deceivers and believers and all in-betweeners that seem to have no place to go. It's the same old song. It's right and it's wrong. It's the way that I feel about you. And with no place to hide, looked in your eyes and I found myself in you. And I look to the stars, tried all of the bars, and I've nearly gone up in smoke. Now my hand's on the wheel of something that's real, and I feel like I'm going home. In the shade of an oak, down by the river, sat an old man and a boy, setting the sails, spinning tails, fishing for whales with a lady they both enjoy. It's the same damn tune, it's the man in the moon, it's the way that I feel about you. And with no place to hide, looked in your eyes, and I found myself in you. And I looked to the stars, tried all of the bars, and I've nearly gone up in smoke. Now my hand's on the wheel, something that's real, and I feel like I'm going home.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
That's my hands on the wheel.
Unbelievable.
Melanie, you're loved. Do you have
our living room.
Do you have any advice for anybody that in the way that you lived your life in that can give them some positive direction?
Well, one thing is do something you want to do for the rest of your life. If you start out doing something you don't like, you better get out of it. So, and you can do anything you want to. You just got to set your mind to it. You know, in 1984, if you'd have told me I was going to be a Willie Nelson impersonator, I could have laughed you out of town. But you never know what's going to happen. You know, I put on some braids and painted my beard white, and I looked like Willie. But then it was up to me. You know, it took me 5 years to learn, you know, about 4 or 5 songs. Mm-hmm. It wasn't easy. Mm-hmm. You got to set your mind to it. So, but then after I learned those and got them down, I thought, well, I can do this, you know. So in 90, that's when I kicked it in high gear, learned 35 songs. And then, I mean, I was young enough then I could remember all the words and everything. And I've done so much now, so, you know, I don't have trouble with words. I have trouble with what section I'm in my show, you know, like what's next, you know.
Yeah.
But I have a little cheat sheet that I use now. And but it's a fun life. And since my wife passed away 3 years ago, you know, I stayed around the house for about 3 months watching Gunsmoke and eating ding-dongs. I said, well, this ain't no life.
Right.
So I bought an RV and I got my Willie stuff out and hit the road again.
Good for you.
So I'm going to die on the road here someplace. Right. I just hope it's not tonight.
Ain't none of us getting out of this alive.
Willie,
That's
can,
right.
can you please tell us where you're performing again on next
Oh,
Wednesday and the
At
date?
the Oasis bookstore. That's right down on Main Street. In fact, it's the last building on the left as you're going out to the interstate.
In Quartzsite, correct?
In Quartzsite, yeah. And it's, old Paul used to own the bookstore. I've known him since 94. He's the one that didn't wear much clothes around Quartzsite, you know.
He's a celebrity, local celebrity.
Local
He's
celebrity.
a celebrity. And the only thing he left me was his ball bag. You know,
Well, he had very many of them. His wife knitted him.
Paul was something else. But he was a good musician.
Yeah.
He was.
Folks, those of you that are watching this, what you don't understand is this is like magic in my living room. Look, you've got to get out to one of these shows. They begin the 18th of December. They're going to be at the Oasis bookstore right here in Quartzsite. If you can hear this, if you can watch this, we're right off the 10. Come on in from Phoenix. Yeah, we'd love to have you. Come on in from wherever you are. We would love to have you. Yes. This is a magical time just to spend time with this man and get to know him. He's very personable, and he brings the energy of Willie Nelson. Not to mention, well, he looks like him.
Well, I guess that's why Willie had never shut me down.
Well,
Yeah.
You know, you want to know about the time I met him?
yeah.
Well, I went for 18 years, from 85 to 2003, and never met the man, except for that lookalike contest. He did shake everybody's hands, but
Right.
I wouldn't call that meeting. And I get a call. I'm in Kerrville, Texas, doing some RV parks. It's in '03. And I picked up the phone. He says, Willie Nelson. He said, I know you're in the area. Can you come by the house tomorrow? I'd like to meet you. I said, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll be there. Yeah. You know, I was wondering when this call was coming, you know. I'm pretty sure it was coming. But so I had to think about this all night long, you know. Thinking, what's he going to shut me down or want to cut up my T-shirts or CDs or what, you know. And so I get up early the next morning, me and a friend of mine, Gene, drive up to Luck, Texas. That's where his ranch is. Get there about 10 o'clock in the morning, and the guard at the gate said Willie wasn't up yet. Said, you want to play around the golf on this golf course? I said, yeah. So they take us to the clubhouse, and they give us some rental clubs and a golf cart. So he's got 9 holes on his property there. And if you're kin to Willie or work for him, you get a condo up and down the fairways. He's got about 25, you know. So we get to the 5th hole, and his daughter Susie lives there. I met Susie once back in '89 at the Atlanta airport. She remembered me. She comes out her back door about 30 yards away, and she's waving something. She called me by my first name. She said, hey, almost. Well, that's my first name.
Yeah.
I go up to her and I take it out of her hand. It was a lifetime backstage pass. So I figured, that he's not going to shut me down.
Wow.
So that eased my mind. So I had another 4 holes, and I did pretty good on them, you know.
Yeah, I bet.
But as we got through, we go back to the clubhouse, and it's about noon. He said, is Willie there up in? And, well, he's up, but he's not out on property yet. So he said, you want to go to the recording studio? I said, oh, yeah. So we go up to the recording studio, and it's a big building, about 100 foot long by 60 or something. You got gold records all over the walls. Pictures of Dolly, Waylon, Johnny. You know, it looked like a country music museum. And we spent about an hour in there just looking at the newspaper, awards, everything. I mean, it was someplace.
Wow.
I finally was getting ready to go, and the guy in the sound booth hollered over the mic. He said, hey, almost. You know, everybody knew my first name there, you know. They didn't want me getting mixed up with Willie.
Right.
Hey, come on up here. He said, I got something I want you to listen to. So I go up in the sound booth, and he's got this CD in his hand. He said, the guy was just in here yesterday putting down his half on this CD. I want to see what you think about it. I said, all right. He shoved it in. It was whiskey for my men, beer for my horses.
Toby Keith.
Toby Keith was in there the day before
Wow.
putting his half on the track down.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, I think that's going to be number 1 hit. And sure enough, it was. So we're outside smoking, regular cigarettes. And
A likely story.
Yeah, right.
and my phone rang again. It's about 2 o'clock now. And I picked it up. He says, Willie. He says, I'm up the Redhead Stranger lot. He said, come on up there, we'll meet. I said, all right. So we get in the car and go up to, that's where they made that movie, The Redhead Stranger.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
You've seen it.
Yes.
It's a block long western town.
Yeah.
It's got a church at one end and bar at the other, and a sheriff's office and windmill in between. And I've got it on VHS tape. I watch it about once a month, so I know every word in that movie. Anyway, I'm getting a leery feeling now. I'm standing up by the bar looking at the church, and it just being on the set is something weird. And I'm scared anyway, you know. I'm getting ready to meet Willie. Finally, I see Willie come out of the church a block away with another guy. He started coming straight down the street toward me. I started walking little baby steps, down the street to him. Finally, I was nervous. My legs are wobbling and shaking. I'm sweating. And finally, I got up to him. I said, hi, Willie. I said, I'm almost Willie. Glad I finally got to meet you. He said, yeah, almost. He says, I've been hearing about you about 15 years. He said, I thought it was time we met. I said, oh, I hope you heard good. He said, yeah. He said, I heard you put on a pretty good show. I said, I heard you did too. I could have thought of something better to say, you know. He put his arm around me and says, come on, let's go get a drink. So we go back in the bar, and his whole crew's in there, you know, band and roadies and stuff. He gets behind the bar, and he gets a bottle of Jack and starts pouring everybody drinks. And then after that, they started getting the papers out, and it's put some kind of tobacco in there. I don't know what it was. And they didn't have enough. They were passing them around, you know.
Have to pass that cigarette around.
Yeah. I thought Willie had more money than that, you know. But anyway, we sat there, and Willie stayed behind the bar, and he was telling road stories, you know, about incidents on the road, and Ben Dorsey. And Ben Dorsey was his roadie for 50 years, you know. And he told a bunch of stories. And so, oh, he did tell me one story. This is Willie's, right across the bar, told me. He said, you know, he got in tax trouble in 90. Well, in 88, he hired a new tax accountant, and he was hair-lipped, you know. And every time he'd report to Willie for tax season, Willie thought he was saying, he owned Texas. He owned Texas. He was saying he owed taxes. Now that's a Willie story. Willie can joke about owing $13 million.
Only Willie.
Only Willie.
And overcome it.
Yep. And just bigger now than what
Yes,
he
sir.
was.
Yes, sir.
But, so it's about 6:30 now. We've been there, you know, since 2:30. Willie turned to me and said, almost, I got a gig in Austin tonight at Stubbs' Barbecue. You want to go in there with us? I said, yeah. So we load up on the bus and drive about 25 miles into Austin. And we get there, and there's about 4,000 people standing up in this lot behind Stubbs, bar on both sides and stage down front. They parked the bus behind the stage. It's about 8 o'clock, and Willie goes on at 9. He turned to me and said, almost, you want to go out there in front of the stage and sign some autographs for me? I said, yeah. So I get off his bus, and I'm looking like this now. And they just start running down to the stage, you know, and getting that. I get my Sharpie out, and I start leaning over and getting ticket stubs, signing, almost Willie, almost Willie, almost Willie, almost Willie. I was scribbling, you know. I put AL in line in Willie, AL line Willie. They couldn't read it, you know. And probably the next day when they sobered up, she probably says, honey, what does this say? And she hands it to her husband. He says, oh, honey, that says always Willie. So they'll never know the difference. But I've had a good life, and I always, when I'm on the road, I always go to church on Sunday, you know. And I like to pick little country churches out. It has 40, 50 people. Always in every show with this song. It's a good gospel song. I get those two mixed up. I'm sorry. Just a closer walk with thee. Granted, Jesus is my plea. Daily walking close to thee. Let it be, dear Lord, let it be. I am weak, but thou art strong. Jesus, keep me from all wrong. I'll be satisfied as long as I walk. Let me walk very much, folks.
Very nice.
God bless you, and God bless America.
Lake Havasu, Palm Springs, Phoenix, Yuma. I'm talking to you. Come be with us here in Quartzsite, where it is magic, magic, magic. We're starting the 18th. People, come see us. Come be with Willie. Almost Willie.
Good night. God bless you.